interessante deel is ons het nou die akademikus hier so vanoggend, Dr. Anthea Jeffrey, wat nou teoreties kyk na sake en probleme. En dan natuurlik in 'n praktiese manier ook, maar die regte praktiese ontleder ons natuurlik ons eie nuusman en dit is Tim Du Plessis. En hulle is sommer beide nou ons gaste hier vanoggend. Can I start off by asking you a question about our government? And that is, do we have a government that actually know what they are doing? And I'm asking this question because you get all these contradictions in policy. You get within a certain policy framework, you get contradictions within policies and, of course, between policies.
Right. No, I believe that the government does know what it's doing, that it might set out two completely contradictory plans, the National Development Plan and its strategy and tactics documents, which are part of its National Democratic Revolution. But the one is kind of window dressing. It looks good.
Which one is window dressing?
The National Development Plan is the window dressing, and we're not busy implementing it. We're busy implementing what the ANC has been intent on doing all the way back since 1994, pursuing the National Democratic Revolution, which its communist allies see as taking us to a socialist and then a communist state. And in Mandela's presidency, the progress was rather limited because we had just come from the collapse of the Soviet Union. It wasn't possible to make haste rapidly at that point. And Thabo Mbeki had the same commitment, but also thought it was important to proceed carefully, that if you made great leaps forward, you might derail the NDR. And Cosatu and the SACP became impatient with him. They wanted much more rapid progress, and they looked to Jacob Zuma to be the individual who could help oust Thabo Mbeki, come to power, and then honour his debt to the left by pushing policy in a leftward direction.
What do you think is informing government actions? What's the ideology? Is it old-style socialism or is it African nationalism?
I think it's primarily old-style socialism, but of course that also lends itself to big man politics and certain people becoming very wealthy in the process. But when the ANC says that the 1955 Freedom Charter is its Bible, I think we should take that seriously. They certainly do. And what they are seeking is endlessly to empower the state, to give the state ever more ownership and control over the economy. And it's justified by the need for redress, by the need to make up for apartheid injustice. But they're not actually making individual black people on the whole any better off. Certainly the small elite, the BEE moguls are getting better off. But for most people, that's not so. They can never hope to own mineral resources because those have been vested in the state. Soon they will never be able to hope to own land because that's also being vested in the state. And when redistribution takes place, it's the state that buys and allows black individuals to lease, so they don't get ownership, just as they didn't get ownership in the past. It's a fake form of redress, but it provides very good fig leaf for state control.
Tim and I, we often speak about our dear president and what he's done or he hasn't done or things he said and what happened.
And Dawie says if you remove him from the scene, everything will be fine.
Not everything, but it will be a good start.
It might be a good start, but it's not nearly enough because this process has been ongoing for a very long time.
But who's driving it? Who's behind it?
Yeah.
I think there's a small group of people in the National Working Committee and the National Executive Committee of the ANC, many of whom probably are also closet or open members of the Communist Party, who are driving it and have a plan, and they don't particularly care about whether their ideology fits with the reality, because ideology is something that you believe in irrespective of reality. It trumps reality. And so you can pursue an ideological idea regardless of whether it makes practical sense, in essence.
And Tim asked, where's it going to end?
Yeah, because someone once said, I think it was, someone once said, Churchill read all Hitler's writings and sayings and all the stuff that he said, and he actually believed him. Some other people read him and didn't believe him. It seems as if you had read all the ANC's documents and all the Communist Party documents and actually believed them and say this is... So are we going to end up like North Korea or like Cuba or one of those countries? Look, the problem with socialism, it has not been properly implemented. We must just do it well. Is that where we're going? That's
I think there's a real prospect that we move more towards the Zimbabwe option, where you have indeed the state ownership and control, which is crucial to socialism, but you also have a sort of African nationalist element integrated into that as well, where certain very big men do extremely well out of the system that has been created. And the ANC, I think, formally recognizes, as all the Marxist writing says, is that you cannot really have a communist system without industrialization. And yet at the same time, we've done so much to hamper the industrial sector.
Yeah.
So even within the limits of their ideology, there's a conflict and there's an inconsistency. But I think that the one thing that they're very clear on is that they will build the ownership and control of the state. And business will have fewer and fewer property rights, as will ordinary individuals, and less autonomy in the way they function.
But Zuma did say this week, he did say that business is supposed, and to use his words, run the economy, and they will run the country, which I think they're doing.
It's just paying lip service.
Yeah, so is that what it is? It's just a show?
I think it is just lip service, and it's also deeply ironic in the sense that it's almost impossible for business to function efficiently in the policy environment that the government has fostered and which it's continuing to pursue. The expropriation bill, for example, now before Parliament, is a very damaging law.
Yeah.
We hope that it will be changed, but if it's not, it's a real shot across the bows of business. And we have any number of damaging policies being implemented.
I would like to talk to you about that. But Timmy, baie dankie. Ek moet ons nou hierdie slot is nou klaar. Baie dankie dat jy saam met ons gesels het. Dit is lekker om te sien die verskillende hoeke en wat mense na dieselfde probleem kyk op 'n manier. Ja. Dankie Timmy daarvoor.
Gaan jy weer met Dr. Jeffrey gesels? Jy moet vra, is sy bekommerd oor die toekoms? Dink sy dis verby?
Ek gaan nou vra of ons dit kan stop op 'n of ander manier.